Well, good morning, and welcome to the Morning Report. The Morning Report is a production of fightbackmedia.com, 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 and fightbackmediatv.com. My name is Willie Lawson. I trust that you are well this glorious Wednesday. It's Wednesday. It's already Wednesday. It's the 26th of April. Wow. I'm like Morgan Wallen. I'm losing my voice too. But you know what? I'm not going to cancel this concert because it's short. I'm just doing one tune. It's 4:26 and it is 85 degrees out already. Whew, going to be a scorcher here in West Central Florida. I wanted to, there's so much going on that frustrates me. And it doesn't just frustrate me from an exterior sense, it frustrates me from an interior sense. What I mean by that is how all these things have people are this sort of this political and social and media sleight of hand. And you know what sleight of hand is, where I have you looking over here while I'm picking your pocket over here. So when you look around, yes, I have your watch. Yes, I have your wallet. But I had you so concerned about something else, see, like Morgan Wallen losing my voice, that you could, that suddenly you realized, oh, I don't have my wallet, I don't have my watch, I don't have my cell phone anymore. And this is what's happening. We are in this place right now, or this is happening. The presidential election is next year. So the conventions are going to happen soon. Everything seems to be happening at a feverish clip. But I still think that we are concerned about some things that don't matter. I did a video on TikTok or whatever that said this whole Don Lemon, Tucker Carlson thing. Two highly paid people on cable on cable news have to find another job. Okay, good. I saw a cartoon, and if I can remember to do this, you know, sometimes when I say that I'm going to show you something, and then by the time I get to the point where I'm producing the video, I just forget. It's truly I just forget. Um, this cartoon that shows Tucker Carlson walking away from the shackles of Fox and the shackles of news toward the sign of free speech is probably the best thing ever. If indeed you want another pundit, if you want another pundit, what this has shown you, hopefully, it's shown you that these people who work for Fox, who work for CNN, who work for MSNBC, who work for Newsmax or One America News, they work for a company. And the company is the most important thing. So what we're doing is that we're being led around by the CEOs and the marketing people of these companies. And they're being led around by their advertisers. They're being led around by their advertisers. I need you to get this. It's extremely important. What you see behind me are some coldest water bottles, and I'm in an affiliate program with them, and you don't have to go. You don't have to put in you don't have to go to the coldest.com, and you don't have to put in the code Willie10 and buy a water bottle and have me get a little extra. You don't have to do that because Coldest doesn't tell me what to say or do. And if they canceled my affiliate program, I still get to drink coffee. I still get to live in the same house. I still get to drive the same car. Therein lies the difference, right? Again, so you don't have to go to the coldest.com and put in the code Willie10. You don't have to. If you don't want to, you don't have to. It's a Florida-based company, which is kind of cool, but you don't have to. But these companies are led around by the nose or other goodie bits by the advertisers. And the advertisers are led around by the financial institutions, the banks. Now they're using ESG and DEI as a tool in ESG. And we've been warning you about this for years. For years. When we were doing Blog Talk Radio and it was just audio, a lot of people have been warning about mainstream media. And we say that, and it's a phrase that people don't even pay attention to anymore. That somehow Fox News isn't mainstream. Really? That Sean Hannity isn't mainstream. Laura Ingraham isn't mainstream. Tucker Carlson isn't mainstream. Along with Don Lemon, along with Rachel Maddow. They're all mainstream. And it's because they don't have to use cheesy backgrounds like a lot of us do. Or spend $10,000 to outfit the back room, in our houses to look like studios, so you like it. For you to listen to what we're saying and to give you some advice. I don't have a makeup artist, as you can see. Too many of my TikTok lives, the first thing they mention is you need to cut your nose hair. Yes, I know, and I'll do that when I'm done here. Don't get too close to the camera. We don't have people writing scripts for us. All the things that you get to see when you watch Fox News, when you watch Newsmax, when you watch One America News, when you watch MSNBC, when you watch CNN, people are reading from a teleprompter, different camera angles. They don't have to remember to put the video in because the video is already in. Someone's already done it. Someone's doing it while they're speaking. They don't have to worry about it. They can just, all they have to do is read. So, when all this going on, please don't get distracted by it. Please don't get distracted by it. We're going to take a little break, and then I'm going to get back, and it's been a self-fulfilling prophecy. The next self-fulfilling prophecy. The next thing I'm going to talk about is the battle for the Republican nomination for president. So hang in there. Don't go anywhere. You can fast forward on YouTube through the next spot. Don't, but you could. I can't stop you. Don't, because it's kind of cool. And we're going to talk about the Republican nomination for president and what I'm going to do. We'll be right back. Discover adventure flying. Chances are, if we ask you to name a sports car or a sports bike, you could do it. But what about a sport plane? Icon A5 is meant not for commercial or commuter flight, but rather to enjoy the sheer adventure of flying. It turns flying from a mode of transportation to a sport. What flying was meant to be. So are you ready to start your A5 adventures? Owning an Icon A5 is as easy as flying. With a streamlined sales process, world-class customer service, and service and training partners across the country, purchasing and owning your A5 is a breeze. If you are interested in owning an A5, send your contact information to fightbackmedia@gmail.com. That's fightbackmedia@gmail.com. All right, we're back. Thanks so much. Told you it was cool. Told you it was cool. And there's a contest out there that if you that if you're into aviation, if you subscribe to Flying Magazine, you can win one of those. And some money to like get it to where you need to get the money for getting the license so you can fly it, the sport plane license, if you would subscribe to Flying Magazine. And we'll try to, if I remember, to put that information at the end of the video. So don't just make sure you watch the end of the video. Please make sure you watch the end of the video. All right. What am I going to do now? In my brain, when I thought about this, is I thought about what you should do. I can't tell you. First of all, I will not tell you what to do. I can tell you what my thought processes are, and to let you know that you have a thought process that you can invoke. You don't have to do one or the other You don't. There's so much pressure, especially in media and social media, and on what you should be doing, and your only choice. Well, that's nonsense. You always have more than one choice. Always. Always. Now, the president of the United States, Joe Biden, has finally announced that he is indeed running for re-election. He's going to be 80. Lord have mercy. And the people who are making him do this are terrible people. He is in no condition to do this. In my not so humble opinion, he is in absolutely no position to do this. I mean, no physical condition to do this. I'm impressed that he made it through the first 4 years. Some would even say that that's not Joe Biden. That's a body double. I think that's Joe Biden. I'm surprised. What bothered me most about Joe Biden running for president the last time was that he would have to leave and then we'd get Kamala Harris as president. Oh, good Lord, no. But here's what's going on. Now, we have to wonder, who are the Republicans that have announced? Let's see here. I'll make sure I'm making sure that I get the latest list, because I think that's important. I have the latest list. Let's see. Declared candidates are, of course, Donald Trump, Nikki Haley. I can't pronounce this dude's name, so I struggle. Let's see here. Larry Elder. Now, people will say Larry Elder is a long shot. This is just, he's not a serious person. Here's the deal. I happen to know Mr. Elder. He's very much a serious person. Does Larry Elder believe he can be president? I don't know. My guess is yes. Should you listen to what Larry Elder has to say? I know I'm going to. I'm going to listen to Mr. Elder to hear what he has to say. And I think that's an important thing. Asa Hutchinson has declared, and again, he was a U.S. attorney and Bill Clinton's impeachment manager. So he's been around for a long time. He's not happy about the GOP's direction during the Trump era. So he's a Trump rival. So we'll see. We'll see about age 100. Should you listen to what he has to say? Certainly, certainly, because that's what conservatives do. We don't get so emotionally attached to to personalities. We listen to what people have to say. We listen to their ideas. We listen to their ideas, and then we weigh them against the Constitution. And the ones that meld the closest to what's in the Constitution, that's what we do. Perry Johnson, he failed to qualify for the ballot in the last campaign for Michigan governor, but the businessman, self-described quality guru, has already been running cable TV ads in Iowa. Should we listen to him? Certainly. Certainly. He's what people are calling a long shot, but why not? Vivek Ramaswamy, certainly. He's an investor and a former pharmaceutical company CEO. That right there gives me a little, but should we listen to what he has to say? He has a lot to say about wokeness and corporations and ESG and that kind of thing. So should you listen? Yes, I think it's important to listen. What do they have to say? Now, there are some maybes. Of course, the biggest maybe is Ron DeSantis and Mike Pence. There's also Kristi Noem, Mike Rogers, Tim Scott, Chris Sununu, Texas Governor, probably won't happen, Greg Abbott, probably won't happen, Chris Christie, or Marco, or Glenn Youngkin. People that Politico has ruled out are people like Tom Cotton, Larry Hogan, Mike Pompeo, Rick Scott, again, Florida in the House. Florida in the House. Now, what media has you doing now, even in this Politico piece in their magazine, they have you with a binary choice. The favorites are on one side of this page is Donald Trump and a maybe in Ron DeSantis. Like those are the choices. Folks, that is not the choices. There may be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's only 6 declared candidates at this point. There may be as many as 8, which is not as bad as it's been. But it is vital that we do our due diligence and that we listen to what everybody has to say and that we test it, which means we have to be involved. We can't be told. That's why this whole idea of somebody endorses this person, somebody endorses, screw that. We here at Fight Back Media, and I'm sure my friend Paul, who was an integral part of Fight Back Media, not going to endorse anybody because it doesn't matter who we endorse. It doesn't matter. It's not important. It's not important at this point, especially in the primary, who I endorse. So don't be looking at me. Don't be sending me emails like, so Willie, who do you support? I support the person that I believe that has done, who in their current position has done the best job, and what they're saying folds in nicely to the Constitution and will be profitable for the country moving forward. That's the person you have to support. Now, is that different for everybody? Yes, which means that you are going to have to get up off your big fat and do the work. The thing that is most desperate at this particular juncture in time is that we understand, we talk about we the people all the time, But what a lot of us mean is we the people, as long as somebody else is doing the work, is that we the people have to do the work. I know you're busy. I know you're raising a family. I know you got a job. You might have two jobs. I have two jobs. You might have two jobs and run three YouTube channels and five Instagram pages and Facebook. You may be busy. I know. This is important. So if you have to spend 18 minutes a day, 100 out, which is 100 hours over the next 365 days, 18 minutes listening, reading, studying, you should do that and coming to your own conclusion. Doesn't matter who Fox News endorses. Doesn't matter who your local newspaper endorses. It doesn't matter who Sean Hannity endorses. It doesn't matter who Tucker Carlson endorses. It doesn't matter who James O'Keefe endorses. It doesn't matter who Willie Lawson or Paul Swanson endorses. It matters what you know, what you have found out through your own research. And research doesn't mean that you have to dig into volumes and volumes of, you don't have to. Do your own reading. All these people will have websites. Go read what they put on their website and take it at face value. That's what we have to do. That's the only thing that I'm asking you to do. It's the only thing I'm asking you to really do. Again, not important what I support. Not important who Paul supports. Or Tucker Carlson. What have you found out? Or Politico, or New York Times, or Tampa Tribune, which is gone. St. Pete Times, which is also gone. The Tampa Bay Times. It's Pravda. That's what I'm going to do. This is happening faster than you think. You have the 18 minutes starting today. 18 minutes every day learning about the other candidates. 100 hours in the next 365 days. We're going to finish up right after this. Discover adventure flying. Chances are, if we ask you to name a sports car or a sports bike, you could do it. But what about a sport plane? The Icon A5 is meant not for commercial or commuter flight, but rather to enjoy the sheer adventure of flying. It turns flying from a mode of transportation to a sport. What flying was meant to be. So are you ready to start your A5 adventures? Owning an Icon A5 is as easy as flying. With a streamlined sales process, world-class customer service, and service and training partners across the country, purchasing and owning your A5 is a breeze. If you are interested in owning an A5, send your contact information to fightbackmedia@gmail.com. That's fightbackmedia@gmail.com. Hey, welcome back. No, I'm not going to let go of this because this is one of the largest pieces of the culture war, um, that we've had in some time. Um, William Thomas, who William Thomas is, uh, used to be at the University of Penn, and he was a swimmer. He criticized women who opposed the participation of transgender athletes, dudes, in women's sports, claiming they're fake feminists who hold transphobic beliefs. No, they don't, William. They just know that dudes competing in women's sports destroys women's sports. It's it's an unfortunate truth. Speaking to Schuler Baylor, another dude on the podcast, dear Schuler is the podcast. The NCAA gold medalist denounced his teammates for writing a letter asking the division to prohibit him from competing. Here's what the dude said. They're like, oh, we respect Leah as a woman or a trans woman or whatever. More like whatever. We respect her identity. We just don't think it's fair. Well, it's not fair. Well, you can't just really have that sort of half support where you're like, oh, I respect her as a woman here, but not here, William said on Monday. Now, the dude's got a point. Other than the one on the top of his head, he's got a point. Don't click off. The point is that these young women who are in these or at Penn or at these other indoctrination centers that are being forced to accept this fallacy, this nonsense, this BS, have to stand up and go, wait a minute. I learned this science in 8th grade. There's XX and XY, and there isn't anything else. So these dudes are either insane at some level or sick at some level or just pretending. If you're sick, I got number love for you. But if you're pretending, you're one of the worst human beings ever. It's for me, it's like pretending you have cancer to get money from a GoFundMe, or your kid has leukemia, so you can get a GoFundMe account going on, so you can get sympathy. If you're pretending, you're terrible. You're an awful person. And it's my gut, and I think it's the gut of these women who wrote this letter. They believe that this dude is pretending. Except none of them have the intestinal fortitude of Riley Gaines to say so. They don't have the intestinal fortitude because they are terrified of having their lives ruined outside of swimming to say that this dude's pretending. He's not a girl. He's not a woman. He's a dude. And he's only doing this so he can win, so he could take the trophy home. Here's what William says. They're using the guise of feminism to support, to sort of push transphobic beliefs. There's no thing as transphobic. Transphobic means that I'm somehow afraid of trans people. Not at all. What I am against is people pretending they have gender dysphoria to advance their own careers and to advance their own economic status. That's what we're against. He continued, I think a lot of people in that camp sort of carry an implicit bias against trans people. No, the people who are really suffering with gender dysphoria, ain't nobody mad at. but don't want to, I guess, fully manifest or speak out. No, well, they don't want to really speak out because they're afraid of what will happen to them. Nobody's mad at sick people. Nobody's afraid of sick people. People who are struggling with gender dysphoria for real. And it's a real thing. But what we're not going to do is put up with people who are pretending. And we believe that, William, you're pretending. We don't believe you. We don't believe you. So they just play it off as some sort of half support, which is problematic because we have to be strong enough to go, no, no, not at all. You can't do that. And you're right, we can't. So we have to sort of break it down to you as, here's the deal. William, you're a dude. You should not be participating against girls. Because when you participated against dudes, you were less than average. And now suddenly you're a top flight swimmer? Not at all. You're a terrible human being. And this support from President Biden of this madness is disturbing. And one of the many reasons why this administration has to be ended in November. If you are the parent of a female athlete, basketball, track, swimming, soccer, volleyball, combat sports, boxing, wrestling, you better start looking to make sure that the quality, the integrity, the integrity of girls' sports and women's sports is protected somehow. And it's just not being protected at the highest levels. That's going to have to figure in to your 2020, 2024 election matrix. Going to have to figure in. So until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody. And for goodness sake, take care of yourself. This has been the Morning Report. Morning Report is published on fightbackmedia.com, 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 on fightbackmediatv.com. We'll see you when we see you. Bye now.